Welcome to WtT, the show that cuts right through the corporate spin. Today we are digging into the biggest story in tech right now, Amazon's absolutely massive layoffs. So, is this some bold, strategic move into an AI-powered future, or is it just cover for something else? Let's get into it. 30,000. Amazon just dropped that number on everyone. That's how many jobs they are cutting in what is, by far, the largest layoff in the company's entire history. So we have to talk about what a number this big really means. All right, first things first, let's just break down the unbelievable scale of these cuts. Look, this isn't just another memo about right-sizing. No, this is a full-blown seismic event, and it's sending shockwaves through the whole industry. Yeah, so forget about a little trim around the edges. This is a corporate earthquake. We're talking about cuts that are tearing through almost every single part of the company. And get this is on top of the 27,000 people they already let go since 22. The total number is just staggering, and it screams that there's a radical change of strategy going on inside Amazon. Now take a look at this. This really puts it all into perspective, right? You see other huge tech layoffs this year from giants like Intel and Microsoft, and then you see Amazon. They aren't just leading the pack here, they are playing a completely different and much uglier game. This isn't just following a trend. Amazon is setting a brutal new standard. So, what's the official story from the top? You know, Amazon's leadership isn't just firing 30,000 people and calling it a day. Oh no, they are selling a very carefully crafted story about why this is all absolutely necessary. Let's peel back the layers on the corporate narrative they're pushing out. On the surface, it sounds very strategic, doesn't it? The talking points are all about cutting costs, simplifying their bloated structure, and getting lean and mean for the coming age of AI. It's a polished, forward-thinking pitch. But is that what's really going on here?
And here it is, the smoking gun, from their point of view. The CEO, Andy Jassy, is not being subtle at all. He is pointing his finger directly at AI and basically saying, "This is the future, get used to it." This quote is the absolute cornerstone of their entire public relations strategy on this.
But is that the whole story? Of course not. Here at WtT, we look past the press release. So let's call this exactly what it is, a blunt, painful organizational reset that has some very clear winners and some very, very clear losers. And this slide, well, it lays out the brutal math. On one side, you've got the winners. Wall Street loves the cost-cutting, and executives get to pat themselves on the back for being decisive. But just look at the other side, the losers. It's not just the 30,000 employees out of a job. It's customers who are going to face service disruptions, and it's long-term health of the company's brand, which now it just looks ruthless and unstable. Okay, so all of this really brings us to the elephant in the room, and that is using AI as the perfect, convenient excuse. When the cuts are this deep, you have to start questioning the official story and hunting for the real motive. So, is it the simple answer? Absolutely not. Citing AI as a brilliant narrative, sure. It's a fantastic piece of political theater. It sounds futuristic, it sounds unavoidable, but what it really does is mask a much more complicated and uncomfortable truth about the company's own bad decisions. So what is really going on? This isn't about AI suddenly making thousands of jobs obsolete overnight. No, this is about covering up years of undisciplined, reckless hiring and a string of bad investments. These layoffs, they're a massive, painful correction for past mistakes, and they're just using AI as the perfect scapegoat. And meanwhile, the employees who are left behind are now forced to work in a culture of pure fear. So, where does a move like this actually leave Amazon? Because a decision this drastic has consequences, and trust me, they're not all on the balance sheet. Let's look at the long-term damage this little shortcut is really causing. And here are the receipts. Amazon has just created massive knowledge gaps. They've let decades of institutional memory just walk right out the door. They've opened themselves up to security risks that come with rapid staff churn, and you better believe they've invited a whole lot of new scrutiny from regulators. And on top of all that, they've torched their reputation as an employer, which is going to make it so much harder to recruit top talent in the future. So at the end of the day, this isn't some bold, strategic pivot into the future of AI. It's a payroll purge, plain and simple. It's a managerial shortcut that trades long-term organizational health and actual innovation for a quick, short-term boost to the bottom line. So, the next time you hear a tech giant announce massive layoffs and try to blame it all on AI, you need to ask yourself, is this real innovation, or is this just a failure of leadership in disguise? If you want more analysis that cuts right through the corporate spin, make sure you like this explainer and subscribe to the WtT channel. We'll see you next time.